The Seaside Switch by Kathleen, Kudlinski, and Lindy, Burnett. To the National Park Rangers who care for special seashores and landscapes so we all can share these beautiful wild places. At low tide, when the beach is wide and the waves are far, sea creatures wait, dry and hungry. Come and watch, come and see. The Seaside Switch is beginning. Gulls flock and soar and dart and peck, staying dry above the waves. Listen, waves crash and boom as the tide begins to rise, pulled by the moon and the sun. Clams wait in the sand with their shells shut tight until curling, swirling, the tide rolls in. Then the clams stretch their necks up through the sand to sip the sea water soup. Seaweeds wait in a dark, damp heap until creeping, seeping, the tide rolls in. Then the weeds spread wide to soak up the watery sunshine. Crabs scamper and scurry and poke and pinch, finding their food where they can. Feel it, tide water comes in cold as it rises, pulled by the moon and sun. Mussels hang on their fine silky threads until crashing, splashing, the tide rolls in. Then hungry mussels open their shells to slurp the ocean's stew. Barnacles wait, stuck tight to the rocks, until gushing, rushing, the tide rolls in. Then they open to kick their legs in the food-filled sea. Fish dart and nibble and chase and flee, swimming free in the salty waves. Sniff, the ocean air smells clean when the tide rises, pulled by the moon and the sun. Snails hide in their shells in the shadows until, surging, submerging, the tide rolls in. Then the snails slither out, scouring food from the rocks. Terns hover and fly and dive and fish as they dip in the sea for a bite. Taste, the rising tide water tastes salty and sharp, pulled by the moon and the sun. At high tide, when the rocks are wet and the waves come near, creatures feast under the water. Come and watch, come and see. The seaside is switching again. The moon and the sun pull a different way now. The tide turns from coming to going. Subsiding, low tiding, the water slips away. Snails hide, fish flee, barnacles shut, mussels close. Crabs scurry, seaweeds wilt, clams dig in, and the water keeps going away. Watch! On the way down, small creatures get caught in tide pools made by the rocks. They circle and chase and feed and wait for another high tide to set them free. At low tide, when the beach is wide and the waves are far, creatures wait, hungry, once more. They know the tide will turn again, as long as there's a moon and a sun. The seaside tides will keep switching.